What's up guys, it's CB. Today I wanted to talk about my first time vending a show and being on the other side of the table. I tried to get some footage for the show and I actually bought this camera, this $400 camera, which actually snaps apart like this. Really cool, $400 camera to get some like footage. But literally I didn't have a mic, so the audio was terrible and none of the footage was usable pretty much. Like the angles was bad and you couldn't really hear anything. So that sucked. But next time I'll be sure to have some vendor POVs and all that kind of content. But for now, this video is going to be more of a story, kind of like story slash my experiences, what worked well, what didn't work well, what I would do again, and then just some trades that I got in that were pretty cool, and also what I bought and what I sold. So if you like that kind of stuff, stay tuned. The event that I vended at was Charlie's Collectible Show. It's a local event here in Georgia. It's a 2-day event and they're doing a bi-monthly card show now. So I will be vending it in May and also June as well. But the show starts at 10. I got there at 9 to kind of set up everything because I brought low-key like 20K worth of sealed product, which was way too much for the one table that I bought. But either way, I got there at 9 to set up. The show starts at 10 and people were kind of trickling at like 9:30 to like 9:45-ish. My buddy was with me and he was primarily the slabs guy. He had a bunch of slabs, higher tier slabs and then some singles as well. And I was primarily the sealed guy and then also had some like random singles from the 2 collections that I bought. I also had a value bin for cards under 10 bucks and then everything over 10 bucks I put in a binder, like one of those top loader binders that people can just flip through. So we had a little bit of everything, which I thought was nice. It was just a variety of all sorts of stuff. But like I said, the show starts at 10, but people were starting to walk around way before that to try to start striking some deals and getting some stuff for their PC or to resell, whatever it may be. I do have one clip that makes me look really, really good. So you know I have to show that one.
Yeah, how's it been for you? I appreciate it. Thanks for
Do you guys like Nishi? Yeah. You like Nishi? Do you want this one? I'll give it to you for free.
See what you get, see what you get. He just
That's awesome. Enjoy.
Okay.
I had to show you that one first, so now I gotta tell you the story of how I accidentally robbed this child, okay? So keep that in mind, keep the video in mind first as I tell this one. Okay, so 2 kids came to my table. They were around maybe 12 to maybe 13, 14 years old, maybe a little bit younger than that, but around that age, right? They came and was like, hey, how much for that Battle Partners box, the Japanese one? I said, oh, it's 85. They're like, okay, I have some cards if you want to trade for it. So he shows me, I only remember one of the cards, but I know the other 3 also sold that day too. But one of the cards was a Team Magma's Groudon EX. All right, Team Magma's Groudon EX. Now, my expertise is either vintage or like ultra modern stuff. So I didn't really know the values of what I was looking at. I know it was like a, valuable card if it was near mint, but I just didn't know the value of it. So I look at it, he's like, oh, it's damaged. I look at it, yeah, heavy plates damage. I was like, all right, that's fair. He was like, so I'll give you these 3 cards and then like 30 bucks on top for the Battle Partners box. I was about to comp it, but then I was like, no, it's for the kid. It's probably like, it's damaged, right? I know that super vintage hollows, like, vintage Alakazam or something like that, is at most like 20 bucks. So I was thinking these cards are gonna be like 15, 20 bucks. So I was like, I'm not a bothered comping it. You're a child. I'm not about to argue with you over a couple bucks. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Whatever these cards are worth, I'll take it. It doesn't matter. 35 on top plus these cards, you can have the Battle Partners box. Yeah, so we did that trade and I comped it maybe like 30 minutes after. The Team Magma's Groudon alone was like probably 40 to 50 bucks in damage form. The other 2 cards were also like 40 to 50. So he gave me like 150 bucks in cards and then 35 bucks on top for one Battle Partners box. And this was not intentional. Like I was trying to do goodwill by not comping these cards and wasting both of our time. So I was just like, all right, I'm sure you know the values of your cards, so I'll take your word for it and just let's do this deal. And yeah, that's how I robbed that child. If this video somehow makes its way towards you, kid, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It was not intentional. Come find me in the next show. I'll make it up to you. I'll give you something, man. I'll definitely give you something because that was not nice. Again, not intentional. But yeah, that was my Saturday. At the end of the day, I grossed how much did I gross? I grossed $5,250 in total sales, and 1,000 of that was from singles, and the rest was all from sealed product. The show closes at 5 technically, but people were still walking around like 5:30 all the way to 6, and by like the 5:30 mark, I was grossing around $3,000 in total sales. I was like, all right, the day's pretty much done. But during that last 30 minutes, a shop owner actually came to my table and was like, hey man, you got a lot of sealed stuff. Can you guys run a deal if I bought a lot of it? And I was like, yeah, of course, that's what I'm here for. So he was looking around, he took most of my prismatic stuff. He took a lot of my Surging Sparks booster boxes, ETBs, Lost Origins, ETBs, like everything that was a hot set, he pretty much grabbed. And that was really surprising to me because to me, I always thought that shop owners were pretty much gonna lowball you. But this guy was willing to pay 88% to 90% TCG market value for all my sealed stuff to sell at his store. So that just goes to show how hot this market is right now. That was definitely unexpected at my end. I was talking to someone, he said he spent like 20K in cash that day, just buying stuff for the shop. But we ended up working out a deal for, he grabbed $2,000 worth of stuff, again, prismatic, Surging Sparks, Lost Origin, that kind of stuff. And we kind of did like 85 to maybe like 87-ish%. But I think that was a good deal for both of us. So that was the end of my day one, about $5,000 in sales over that. Day two was advertised to be slower, and it was for me, but some other vendors actually had a better day on Sunday than it did Saturday. But for me, it was definitely slower. But because of that, I got to kind of walk around towards the end of the show and do some trades. And yeah, I'll show you that. I'll show you what I traded for and what I bought at the end of this video. As I was setting up for day two though, and this was before the show even started, it was like 9:45-ish, show starts at 10. This guy came over to the table and was like, I'll grab this, can you do a deal on this, I'll grab this. He ended up taking like $650 worth of sealed stuff, and that made the rest of the day a lot easier. So thank you to you. But towards the end of day two, I grossed $3,000 in sealed product, a little bit over that. And the rest of what I made was pretty much in single sales, or people traded their singles for my sealed product, and then I ended up selling those. So the math is gonna be a little off, but around $3,000 to $4,000 in total gross sales. And by the way, shout out to Chris and his friends. He found me through a business card that I sent with my eBay orders, but he basically lives in Georgia too. He was going to the show. He emailed me and was like, hey, can you bring some Azure Lane Y stuff? I was like, yeah, of course. So they ended up buying half my case of Azure Lane and then some other Battle Partner stuff as well. So it was great to meet you guys. Thank you guys for the support, and hope you guys got some lucky pulls first of all, and hope to see you again in future shows. But yeah, shout out to you guys. But nothing too crazy happened the second day. And like I said, over the course of those 2 days, I grossed about $9,000 in sales, both in sealed product and singles and stuff combined. But yeah, some takeaways. Overall, it was a great experience, and I would definitely do it again. And Michael, thank you so much for vending with me, because that made the day so much easier, and it was just a lot more fun too. Because he was able to like look over my stuff and like handle deals when I was away, either to the bathroom or just walking around or whatever. And I was able to fleece him when he was away. I'm just kidding, we just fleece kids. But yeah, no, having a friend there or vending not alone is definitely the move. If you guys were thinking about getting a table and like doing this alone, it can get a little bit rough because you can't walk away from the table. Like if you gotta use the restroom or grab some lunch or whatever, you can't do that because you either miss out on deals or someone might take your stuff. So it's definitely better to share a table with someone if you can, or at the very least, like make friends with the vendors next to you guys so they can watch over your tables and vice versa. Another thing though, slabs didn't do as well as we expected, but Michael brought a lot more like higher end stuff, and this is more of a local show, so maybe that was the reason. Maybe the higher end stuff was, can be reserved for Collecticon or something like that. But either way, that wasn't too great. We still made some sales, but it wasn't like moving as much as we expected. But sealed was great, singles were great, and Chinese Pokemon did really well. Like I was the only vendor with this box right here, and this one sold out probably a lot faster than it should have. But yeah, I was the only vendor with these, and this box alone brought so many eyes to my table because everyone was like, oh, what is that? What is that? I've never seen that before. But I was like, yeah, Chinese 151, Chinese Pokemon. So this one was definitely a great move to bring, and it definitely brought a lot more eyes to the table. So for the next show, we're definitely bringing a lot more sealed, some more singles. I gotta source some more singles, buy some more singles, and maybe some lower tier to mid tier slabs instead of the higher end ones, and then some more Chinese 151. So that's my plans for the next show. But yeah, let me show you what I picked up and also the trades that I got. All these cards right here were from trade-ins, or I traded them for. But as far as sealed product goes, I bought a sealed case of Paldean Evolved booster boxes, a sealed case of 6 for $1,150 for Michael, shout out. And then I also got 10 more Paldean Fates. Yeah, Paldean Fates booster bundles for 45 bucks a piece. Again, I had a whole video on the thesis of why that's a good deal, wanting to get investment. So I bought 10 more of those. But yeah, those were my 2 sealed pickups, and these were all the trade-ins. First off, we got the Wobbuffet. This one's just for me. I like to collect vintage hollows. Like, I don't care if they're damaged or anything. It's just for my binder. But $6 for that one. Nice pickup. And this one, Vaporeon EX from Prismatic Evolutions. This one was a trade for 85%. They trade 85% of the market value for some sealed product. So good deal there. Beautiful card, super minty. No whitening or anything. And then we got Flareon EX from Radiant Collection. And the sticker price that you see is not what I paid for. So what I ended up doing was I traded some of the cards that I bought or were trade-ins for some of these. So whatever you see here, I probably paid or I'm in it for about 90% of this. So for this card, for example, I probably would have paid 36 bucks for it. But yeah, Flareon EX from Radiant Collection. Mega Gardevoir EX. Look at that. Mega Gardevoir EX. I thought that would remove the sticker, but it didn't. Radiant Collection as well. I would say this is MP, maybe LP to MP. 51 times 0.9, probably in it for like 45 bucks. And if I can sell it for the sticker price, I think that would be a pretty solid deal. But for a lot of these, the TCG player price is a lot higher than sticker price. Got the Gardevoir EX. Also, ooh, Mega Charizard. Mega Charizard, $69 though, holy. This one's minty though. Like, this one's definitely near mint. 69, 10% off that. And then, Kyogre EX for only $30 for, MP though. Yeah, definitely MP. But 30 bucks, 90% of that, 27, about 25 bucks that I'm in for. Again, as long as I can sell it for the sticker price, I would be happy with that. And this one was a pure trade. Mega Mewtwo EX, bro. This one was I've never seen this card before, but this one's sick. Mega Mewtwo EX, about 80% trade value. So good stuff there. These were some of my mid-era pickups besides that one. But yeah. How much did I make on that $9,000 of gross sales? I don't know the exact number, but we're gonna do a little quick maths and try to figure it out, right? So the split was pretty much $7,000 in sealed and then $2,000 in singles. My margins for sealed were actually a lot better than I expected because I got in for most of the stuff, for all the stuff at either retail value or a little bit under retail because of the distro that I have. So my margins were around like 25 to 30%, which is crazy. So $7,000 times what kind of average that to 27.5% would be 1,900 in profit for sealed product. And then for my singles, you guys know I bought them at 70%, the 2 collections that I bought. And I pretty much sold them at full market price because no one tried to haggle me. Well, not many people try to haggle me. If you do see me, like, I'm willing to do deals. So, try to haggle me a little bit. But that's a 30% margin. We'll be a little conservative and say 25%. So 2,000 times 0.25 would be 500 bucks plus the 1925. That's my estimated profit for that weekend. The tables cost $100, which is crazy cheap. Minus 100 bucks. That's my estimated profit for the weekend. Those are my numbers and my experiences as a first-time vendor. I learned a lot of fun, and we'll definitely be doing it again. And for next time, I will be sure to have some vendor POVs. Like, I got this, all right? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for hanging out, and hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace.